Make.
Yeah, where it says host, it's not a picture of Sarah.
Oh, I think it'll work. It's
Sarah, you're muted.
Sarah, are you there? Just checking.
I am. I'm here. My video.
Cool.
My power plugin wasn't plugged in.
Tina's asking, hello, what is the Facebook group? There is no Facebook group. There's a group that I have that's called Bliss Beings, I guess, but I don't really post to it. Maybe I should make a Facebook group. I'll do that eventually, or I'll use that Bliss Beings group. No, I won't. I'm not having.
You have a group called people who follow the Pleiadian channel thing. I think you do have.
No, I don't have that group, but maybe I will activate the group. Anyway, so welcome to the live stream, everybody. And we're going to get started in a moment. So for people who are just tuning in for the first time, we just ask that you unmute yourself when the person before you has completely finished the question, giving perhaps a couple of moments to be sure that everything has integrated. Oh, I'm getting a knock on the door. Hola. Sí. Sí, está bien.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. So, okay, here we are. And you can also type your questions into the Facebook comments, or you can type the questions in the Zoom chat. So we will answer as many questions as we can. We will be live for about an hour and 15 or 20 minutes. All of these recordings are available later on YouTube. The channel is youtube.com/blissbeings. It's called Dante Starshine. You can subscribe there and see the updates from the lives and from other sessions as well. And I do offer private sessions and a channeling course. The next channeling course is already enrolling for January. So still some time out for that. But if you really resonate with this and you want to kind of take the teachings and the ability to establish connection with beings like the Pleiadians into your own life, we can do that. And scammers are not going to enter the live today. We're not going to get Zoom bombed because there's both a password and a waiting room. We should all be good. So yeah, we'll get started. And if anybody wants to donate to this session, you can check on my page later with the links to PayPal or Venmo, or check in the chat. This supports me sharing this every week in a free transmission, and another way you can support us on Patreon. And every week, every month, give a small donation. And also for people who subscribe on Patreon, I do accept questions that are submit in advance. So you can, without attending, submit in a written question. And I think that's everything. So I'm gonna get started and let them come through, and I hope you enjoy this session. Oh, one more thing. If you want to share this to your Facebook page, just by going onto the live and hitting share to your page or to a group or any groups that you think would like this, that's really helpful, as Facebook is kind of blocking me on occasion from sharing in groups, and I'm being very cautious, as it wouldn't be fun to be blocked from them entirely. So this spreads best by word of mouth. If you enjoy it, pass it to friends that you know who are starseeds or into channeling, or would benefit from any of the messages. All right, so I'm going to turn it over. Hello, and we say once again, a wondrous day to all of you. It is our pleasure to establish connection in this way, and a great honor to meet all of you. We thank you for co-creating this transmission, for our presence. With you would be nothing without your own choice to tap into this vibration, to receive the information coming through, and implement it in your lives, creating a complete circuit that allows your planet to ascend through integrating these higher frequency energies. We are openly sharing with you both through channels and also to all of you on telepathic levels. You can tap into beings like ourselves who are always eager to support. For as we share unconditional love and service, we in return experience expansion through witnessing the reflections of Source you offer us and experiencing in a deeper way that quality of unconditional love every time we establish connection with you, and likewise you can expand into that same connection yourselves. So the title of this transmission is From Transparency to Telepathy. And the idea here is that this quality you describe as transparency is key in the process of ascension itself. And for this reason, this theme is rising to the surface in your collective consciousness more all the time. What does it mean to be transparent? It means to allow others to see all of who you are completely and entirely. It means that you bring all of your intentions, desires, and even concerns into an open view when you feel it is appropriate. This is key in your growth, as when you are not transparent, or you could say opaque, you prevent others from seeing you. You have to, in order to create this opaqueness, block and distort the inherent quality of your being. And as we have said before, the purpose of your very existence is to be who you are uniquely, is to allow those things that make you different and differentiate you from others, to be witnessed, to be expressed, to add new flavors to the stew of your world that only you can bring. So whenever you create the opposite of transparency, in the sense opaqueness, you block that unique energy that is who you are. And in that sense, you prevent yourself from coming to know who you are, and you prevent others from receiving that unique medicine that you bring. Also, when you block, again, the essence of who you are from expressing, it creates a deep resistance within your being. And it takes a great deal of energy to resist. You must have heard the idea that energy follows the path of least resistance. And that means whenever you clear all of the resistance within your being, within your body vessel, within your belief systems and thought processes, you allow greater amounts of energy to flow through you. You become lighter, you become quicker, more perceptive. So then, whenever you attempt to hide aspects of yourself from others, you block energy from flowing in your own being. And
What?
you not only, again, slow down the rate of your own expansion, you hold back the unique essence that you bring, which is there to support others in coming to learn more about themselves in the same right. And that is why the more that you actually practice letting go of this resistance and stepping into genuinely exposing yourself, you prevent others from experiencing the gift of inspiration. Again, energy ripples. So every time you set examples of higher frequencies, higher expressions of love in your world, others will innately follow you in the example that you set. And that is the way your reality changes. So you cannot wait for others to become more transparent themselves in order to choose to do the same. You will find that when you choose transparency in your own right, that you might be repelled initially from others who are choosing opaqueness, and you eventually will find alliances, find attraction to those who are also willing to step into that energy of transparency. We speak of transparency as, yes, shining light on your own shadows. And in order to do that, you must fully believe, again, that everything that you might consider dark or limiting within yourself is only the flip side of something that is positive, something that is beneficial, something that can serve you. Again, remembering that every belief system and every behavior that you experience is there because on some level you believe it to be beneficial. And you must get in touch with why even expressions of shadows might be beneficial for you in order to excavate the hidden positives within what you may experience as negative. Remembering as well, everything that you heal, you must first feel. So by bringing those expressions of yourself to the surface, you allow them to integrate, and you also inspire others to integrate them within their own selves. This process itself leads to telepathy. Telepathy is, in a way, innate. It is, in a sense, telepathy. Empathic in the sense that it is feeling. We understand many of you are coming to understand that you are empathic in your nature. Though we encourage you to understand that through realizing you're an empath, you have to understand everyone is as well empathic. And if they are not experiencing empathy and the malleability of energy fields, it is because they are in some way limiting their innate empathic nature. Yet they have the potential to be empaths as well. They have the potential to experience telepathy. And so don't allow any of these ideas to make you think that some are more unique or more adept at some of these skills that are actually innate. Telepathy begins when you are able to feel the frequencies behind what people are saying and what they are doing. When you bring your focus upon them, you might feel a certain energy that moves through your body. You might get a sense of exactly what they are feeling. And this gift will continue to rise. Again, remember that we and many other extraterrestrial species are beings that do not communicate with verbal language in the same sense, because we have become telepathic and we are able to share information with each other through thought alone. And you will become this way as well. The bridge to getting there at this point, because further along the journey, there will be other bridges, though the one that you must cross now is that of transparency. Transparency blocks telepathy, because when you are holding something back, when you are attempting to create a mask to hide an aspect of yourself, that restraint on the flow of energy within you creates distortions in the field. And people will feel that something is off, yet not necessarily be able to pinpoint it. Some gifted psychics will be able to see through the distortions that you would call opaqueness or lack of transparency and understand what is going on within the other. Though in order for telepathy to be complete, it is a two-way street. And the energy that one wastes by hiding aspects of themselves will also prevent them from accurately seeing others. It also guarantees certain projections, because the qualities that one is trying to hide, they will project onto others, and more often they will project the opposite quality. And through the perception that others possess the quality that the one expressing opaqueness believes they lack, it will exacerbate that sense of separation. It will exacerbate that gap. So you can see that every time you are not transparent, you separate yourself from others. And in separating yourself from others, you block your own expansion into source consciousness, as well as your ability to allow this telepathic gift to emerge. You can practice with those with whom you've exposed all of your truth, the light, and what you call the dark as well, that you can communicate more easily without words, that the flow of emotional energy between you can expand and crescendo know the importance of allowing your truth and your true self to emerge, as that again is the bridge into ascension. And again, as we have said in previous transmissions, you may consider your world diverse now, though the process of ascension will show you that every individual is even more unique than you once supposed. And by allowing for those differences and nuances to emerge. There will be endless beauty emerging in your world. Now, we would add a few simple caveats to these ideas of transparency. First, being that with certain individuals who do not have your best interest, it is better to not be transparent. If being transparent would give them some sort of advantage over you, with individuals who may harm you or may manipulate you, it is best to not have any contact. Though by practicing transparency with those that you are truly able to trust, paradoxically, the new gift of an integrated sort of mask will emerge. And much like in the holiday that you are about to experience in some parts of your world, when you put on costumes, once you fully become transparent, it will be easier for you to be a new being, present a new version of yourself for the purpose that it serves when it serves a purpose, because you will have dissolved all of the resistance to being who you innately are, and you will understand for the purpose of certain interactions, you put on the mask. And again, this mask serves you most when you are dealing with any situation you may consider dangerous. And we are not so naive, and we don't encourage you to be so naive to think that there's no danger in your world. So it is important to then recognize when you want to put on that mask to tell the story that others need to hear in order for you to navigate safely to the other side of the bridge of that phase of your journey. And yes, with that, we thank you for allowing this transmission to take place. We thank you for receiving this information, integrating it in your life, and allowing it to spread through the world in the ways that it serves you. And now we will open up to your sharings, your questions, your musings, for us to co-create new ways of understanding, expanding, and relating together once more at this time.
Yes, I would love to ask a question right now. I am going to try to tell the short version of this story. It's not going to be easy. My name came up to the top of a list for low-cost senior housing. And I've accepted the room. I've got a lot of stuff to move, and it needs to be done by about the 27th through the 30th of November. It's an opportunity to have rent based on my income and to have the autonomy of living alone. And there have been problems with my roommate. At first I thought it was just about moving the stuff and trying to figure out how to get it done in such a short time. And now I'm seeing there's another aspect where I'm having so much fear and resistance within me that I'm concerned about my physical, emotional, and mental health. It gets really extreme sometimes. I'm not generally used to it getting this extreme. I don't know if this is a sign that I've made a mistake and I shouldn't be taking it at the apartment at least this soon. But I would be open to what you think, and if there's a way
What
to deal.
aspect of this transition are you resisting?
What about it? Okay, it feels so abrupt. I've been here for 18 years. May have something to do with being a Taurus. Like this is my home. It feels kind of like a ripping.
Yeah.
A ripping, yeah.
Though, are there aspects of this new situation that excite you more? As you said, to be on your own.
To what?
To be on your own, to have more autonomy.
Yes, that is definitely good, especially because I'm having some needs that for peace and it's suitable. It's not as spacious, and that makes me feel a little cramped after having as much space as I do.
Do you need all of the space that you presently have?
Probably not. I probably don't need as much stuff as I presently have.
Do you need more physical space, or do you need more energetic space? Because you may not be fully accepting the gift that it offers you of the energetic space.
Right. I mean, I would have liked to go into the new place and say, wow, this is exactly what I want. It doesn't feel that way, but of course it wasn't quite ready either. It didn't have the appliances, so not quite sure what else to say about this, except that it is an opportunity to actually live within my income.
Yes. And it is an opportunity for you to have control over your space in a way that will be nurturing. And it is an opportunity in a way to start a whole new chapter of your existence.
Yes. Is there anything I can say to these parts of myself that are freaking out when they start freaking out?
Have compassion to them and don't force them to change.
Oh.
You can continue working, continue doing things related to the move despite the fear. Don't allow yourself to focus on it. Don't try to meditate it away. Simply shift your focus into something that feels good, something that takes you into a sort of a flow. And then, again, give your compassion to yourself when it arises, though don't try to fix it, as these parts will operate within you as you make the move and after you have completed the move. And after some time, when you really land in the new situation, when you stop resisting the parts, acceptance can fully dawn, and you can receive this opportunity for the great gift it really is.
Ah, okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks to you as well.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Yes, good morning. I would like some advice from my guides about unlocking communication between my twin flame friends, and also I wanted quick advice of what look like my financial opportunities in the near future. And I wanted all of this very quick to let time for other friends here. Thank you.
So you want to open to more communication, you said, with this idea of twin flames?
It seems something it's blocked, so I don't know what I have to look inside myself to dislodge this situation, which is.
Are you transparent with these people?
If I am parent with these people?
Transparent?
The communication it's blocked. It's locked. I cannot dislock. It's from them to unlock the communication.
Yeah.
It's come from me because they are me and I am them, so I don't know how to understand.
Then have you fully opened your own communication? Are you being fully truthful with these people?
If I unlock the communication from myself, they will take advantage. I have to let them do the first move.
No. Did you listen to the transmission we have shared? As we
Yeah.
have said, you cannot wait for others to be transparent to become transparent yourself. For you will keep yourself forever in a deadlock if you operate in this way. If everyone in the world waits for others to make the first move, you will all spend the time waiting. And so you will experience the greatest empowerment when you take the first step, when you, again, become the leader that you want to see. So by unlocking your truth first, by being fully truthful about all that you feel, all that you desire, and all that you fear with these individuals, then you give them the opportunity to be as fully truthful and transparent with you. Until you do that, nothing will change.
Okay, so you mean I am not taking advantage because I was afraid of not letting them to have a choice and to do the move. I don't want it to push the people. Do you understand?
You don't have to push them, you simply have to be truthful with them.
Okay.
And understand that if you are truthful and you don't get the outcome that you are expecting or desiring, you are gaining experience from it, and it will be easier to step into truthfulness and transparency with others. And also, you get the reward of really seeing where other people are at.
Yes.
If you try to analyze and figure out what people want and what they don't without asking them directly, you are blocking and distorting the information you are perceiving. In order to get the clearest read, whether it is with humans or whether it is with astral non-physical beings, you have to ask in as clear and in as a direct of a way as you possibly can.
Okay. It's funny you say that because I am sensing like I am having a mask toward wearing a mask toward the astral being because I am afraid of their lying to me, or maybe I am not understanding in the right way. So it's as if I am blocking also the communication for having more protection. Thank you for the advice.
Oh yes, you're welcome. And we would say, remember, when it comes to meeting astral beings or non-physical beings, ask them always the questions, are you of the light? And are you of service to others? Do you have my best interests? In other words, are you of the light? Are you of service to others? They have to answer truthfully through universal law. So if they don't give a clear, definitive yes, then you can ask those beings to leave and simply connect to the more amorphous field of your own higher self, who will never betray you.
So you mean no one can lie to us when we ask those kind of questions?
No astral beings can lie to you. They can attempt to deceive you by telling you partial truths. Though if you are aware of the right questions and the right way to engage with such trickster beings, then you will get the truth from even them. Though, as we are seeing, you are connecting with beings of the light, so there is nothing to fear, really.
Okay. As my guide, how my guide sees my future, in near future, financial opportunities for me, please.
There may be new jobs opening up. There may be new opportunities. So continue to seek them, yes.
Okay. Okay. Quickly, there is some child who came visit me last night.
There was a what?
Some child.
Child.
Yes, something like light, childish, nice.
Like a human child or a spirit child?
ET child.
Yes, your hybrid children, yes.
He came yesterday night.
Yes.
Aha, okay, so I was right. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Our thanks to you as well.
Hi,
Hello.
thank you for this opportunity. I would like some clarification about a thing that happened a night ago. I woke up by my phone, it fell on the floor, and I picked it up and closed my eyes to get back to sleep. And then someone poked me on the hip, so I thought it was my partner and turned around to ask what he wanted. But he was asleep, laying with his back towards me, and the cat wasn't in. So I went back to sleep, and in the morning I told him what had happened. And then he said, "It was you who poked me," because he had also woken up, and I did not. So there was someone who poked both of us, and I like guidance from guides and spirits, but I like to receive these messages through meditation and dreams, not in a physical way. So
Yeah.
could you clarify what this was all about? And yeah.
There are beings you may know as elementals, fairies, elves even, that want to establish communication with you. And these beings, unlike certain beings you may know as angelic or extraterrestrial in their nature, do have the ability to affect your physical reality. And so they are, in a way, lovingly guiding you to feel more safe with reality bending. Understand that as you establish clearer alliances with beings from these realms, you may morph and change reality, and they may affect your physical reality as well. And there's nothing to really fear about that. Though, again, these beings respond to the energy that you put out. So if you fear these beings, or if you attempt to protect yourself from them, they will respond with the same energy that they receive from you.
Okay, I see. So I should just let them in and establish a deeper contact with them.
Yes, they would like to speak with you a bit, certainly.
Okay. Is it the fairies?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Like the fairies. You may consider them more elf-like.
I love that. Thank you.
Oh, well, thanks to you as well.
Hi, can I go next?
Yes.
Hello, thank you for connecting today. I have a question about relationships, about romantic relationships. So I feel this huge, like black hole in my third chakra, in my solar plexus chakra, and like codependent romantic relationships, short-lived, like fiery infatuations have been sort of a like reoccurring theme throughout my life, and it feels like the triggers are getting a lot stronger around this for me too right now. Like I'm really being guided to hone in what it is that's been giving me so much grief in this life, and like around this topic, and like teasing out, you know, my own loneliness really, and neediness, and also balancing that with a desire for an actual healthy connection with somebody. So is there anything you guys can add to this, or something that I'm not seeing in the bigger picture?
Yes. All right. Well, the energy you would describe as a black hole is something that you may find bringing deeper presence to allows a process of catharsis that happens gradually over time, layer by layer. This energy field will diminish as you are aware of certain experiences that have left residual impacts on your field already. This field in your solar plexus is related to what you are already clearing and aware of. It is, in a sense, a side effect of feeling a block to your communication, a block to your life force. And this emptiness within you will be filled with your own energy, the energy from your own higher self. So as you create more space for energy to flow from your upper chakras down into your lower chakras, this energy from your higher self will gradually fill into this space and rest within you so that you don't react to emptiness in seeking connection. Seeking connection is well and good, and even neediness, as you describe it, is well and good. Though the issue with neediness in general is that when people experience those initial stages of love you describe as infatuation, all of one's needs become projected on another person, when the reality is you are meant to fulfill many of your own needs, and there are a variety of people who are there to help you meet every need. And so the projection brings with it unnecessary responsibility that in codependency both individuals start to react to, and in a way throw a distorted energy back and forth between each other until it becomes so heavy they must disentangle completely. So some of these dynamics may need to see expression another time, whether you play that out in your inner world or astral plane, that is fine. It can also play out in physical relationships that are more gentle than past experiences, but lightly give you a refresh on the patterns you already know. And with that awareness of your connection with your guides, simultaneously you can channel again the energy of your higher self into that place where there's emptiness, to be fully saturated with a sense of love for yourself. And that energy will then attract different relationships, and it will repel those who have great resistance to love themselves and therefore seek love from another to fill the void.
Great, thank you. That all really resonated. It feels like, yeah, things are shifting, and yeah, I'll just move on. Can I ask another question?
Yes.
I have a question about what people call the matrix. In your perspective, is there a matrix in the sense of, New Agers, the way New Agers perceive it? For example, I went to the mall yesterday, which was very odd for me energetically, stepping back into that space, and there was so much weird energy there that I felt like I could perceive this almost sort of matrix thing that maybe would be falling apart and as we ascend. But at the same time, the idea of a matrix creates more separation. consciousness and that kind of idea. So I was just curious your perspective on the matrix.
Yes, yes. And so you break free from the matrix when you release these belief systems and come to operate from a higher understanding that you create your reality, that belief, anticipation, and focus will all shape one's experience. And with mastery of these tools, you can change and shape reality in the ways that you prefer. So to step out of the matrix does line up very well with that idea of a movie in your world where eventually individuals develop the ability to bend space-time in the same right as you release belief systems, you will also gain the ability to bend time and space, to bend the energy fields of the world around you. The misconceptions about such a matrix are that it has a location and that it has some sort of centralized focus. For in actuality, all of those who operate the matrix, or in a sense are on top of the food chain of the predatory reality that putting your energy into such a matrix enables, are those individuals, yes, are just as much ensnared by the negative beliefs as those at the bottom of such a food chain. They are convicted, they are convinced of the reality of the negative and limiting beliefs that keep many committed to the same ways of behaving and relating to each other. So this idea of a matrix can bring many of you to start to give your power away to such controlling forces. And again, understand they don't have power over you. You choose through your beliefs how you experience this reality. So when individuals are taking this metaphor from this film to the same extent that you must fight the matrix, actually they strengthen the existence of such a matrix. So drop this parallel connection to any storyline of that nature and realize that you break the matrix down by shifting your focus away from it. And you can enter a mall or any such a place and bring your focus away from the belief systems and the energy field they create through the thoughts and the invisible fields that are projected into reality as a result of them. And just focus on the purpose of your being there. Perhaps you need to go through the mall to acquire something useful for you. You can bypass the fields of the matrix by understanding it has no power unless you choose to give power to it.
Great, thank you.
Oh, thanks to you as well.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good evening. Hi. I have a question for you that relates to me having different ideas about where I'd love to spend the following months. I have many different options on the table, and among all those options, there is one that kind of resonates a little bit more than the others. But despite all the signs, I still cannot quite surrender and commit to this one option. Maybe you can give me some insight on where you think it would be most suitable for me to spend the incoming months.
What causes you to resist this idea that resonates most?
It's like in the background, there is still room for other possibilities.
To all of those other possibilities, and
Yeah.
continue to allow new information to come to you while keeping in your consciousness that this idea of the one that presently resonates most is the path that will serve you the most because of that feeling of resonance. And in a way, surrender to it for now, but understand that to surrender to it in the moment doesn't mean you cannot change all of your plans when something arises that resonates more.
Sure, makes sense. Very simple, but very true. And I have another question to you, which has to do with my brother.
Yes.
And we have a very special relationship in the sense that we grew up together when we were kids, and then we were separated. And our interactions currently are mostly via phone, via WhatsApp. And he really likes to, I don't know, just tease me on the things that I find interesting. And I've been trying to responding to him with most love I can and not to get triggered by what he says. And at the same time, I would like to come closer to him. But I just don't know how to open myself up to him if every time I open myself up, I feel like he doesn't take seriously my interest.
Have you expressed to him your frustration with his sarcasm?
Of course I did, yeah.
And have you set a clear boundary that I don't want to experience your ridicule or your sarcasm anymore?
Yeah, this is like a long-lasting thing between us, but he just doesn't stop. He's always on the attack mode towards me.
So you have attempted to set this boundary, yes?
Yes.
And
Many
nothing
times.
has changed.
And nothing has changed, no.
So are there aspects of yourself that you can still share with him that he wouldn't experience resistance to?
Probably, but then there is my resistance because I'm also a bit scared to open up to him and then all of a sudden receive that attack again.
Yes. We would say that if at once it fails, don't attempt again to share that same idea with him, and instead shift your focus to that which he might be able to share. Also, release any resistance to the idea of rejection, as rejection is in the same way a boundary. It is often a boundary that is set unconsciously, though your boundaries actually meet. There is common ground, and the common ground that you may seek with him is of a much deeper nature, having to do with your own feelings towards yourself. So if you allow for you to find a way to express yourself with as little woo as possible, you may find a very charming connection opens up between you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for your
Yes,
perspective.
thank you as well.
Okay, so I'll go next.
Wait, I'm so sorry, not to interrupt. I got a message from someone saying that that Sarah Adams got kicked off of the Zoom call and can't get back on, and I was asked to insert that message here. I don't really know how to use Zoom though, so I don't know how we deal with that. With the Pleiadian.
Great. Okay. Tuning back in now. All right, so let us continue then.
Okay. Hi, Pleiadians.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I would like to ask you, it's about the connections that our cultures in our world have with the other civilizations. Because as I understood from other sources, for example, the United States is more connected to Anunnaki, or Russia or Slavic states, Slavic cultures are connected to more Aryan.
Yes.
Of course, the Orion is very, very general connection throughout the world, but there are these kinds of more inclined to a civilization or other. And I would like for you to expand on this. For example, for the Western Europe, what are the connections? And also specifically for the Romania, if you can.
All right. Now, understand that, again, if we speak in terms of genetics, you are one human race. You all carry the same genetics, and over time, the environments that you have chosen to live bring about different qualities that lie dormant within your genetics. The same can be expanded in terms of a metaphysical connection. You all are innately programmed to have connections with all of these extraterrestrial groups, as their genetics were alive at humanity's inception, and more genetics were inserted through your evolution. And it is, in a way, the dynamics of culture that bring about certain qualities of consciousness that allow for stronger resonance fields to be created between certain groups of people and certain extraterrestrial groups. Mm-hmm. So that isn't to say that because there is a stronger connection to the Syrian group in Africa, that someone in Africa could not establish a very strong connection with the Pleiadians as well. So with that said, the area you know as the Americas is certainly aligned with the Anunnaki, as well as it is aligned with the Pleiadian consciousness. All of the Americas, not just the North America, that is. The region you know as Africa is very much aligned with the Syrian groups, And certain tribes there, known as the Dogon, and as well as others, were visited by the Syrians and received key bits of information from them. The Syrians were also very active in the area you know to be Egypt. The area you know as the Middle East is very much connected with the Anunnaki and with the Pleiadian groups. The areas you know as India, South Asia, Australia are also very much connected with the Syrian groups. Now, Europe has many connections. It is, in a sense, diverse in its field, both opening up to connections with Pleiadian, Syrian, hybrid beings as well, are all very activated in that area now, though especially the Pleiadian group, yes. Orion not only connects to what you may know as Russia, but also the United States and the Middle East. So, well, there is more that could be said, though we don't want to overcomplicate it for you, and understand, while some of these connections are more predominant, again, on an individual basis, souls will have their own unique programming regardless of where they incarnate and where they receive their layers of conditioning.
Yeah, I understood. Okay, so I'll stop here. We are short with the time, so thank you very much.
Oh yes, sir, thanks to you as well.
May I
Hey,
ask a
sorry,
question?
I got lost. I got thrown off. So Dante had requested that we stop the call at 11:30. So let's please respect that, okay? And probably a lot of people aren't going to get their questions answered. But yeah, Denise, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Hello, Pleiadian Council. I am in the there was a transaction where I sold something and I was paid money, and I believe I put part of that money down on the table. Some of that money is missing, and I think that the person I sold to may have inadvertently picked it up along with all the things he was gathering from the transaction. I don't know. I'm doing my best to remember, but that's what I feel happened. And I'm in communication with him. He doesn't feel that happened. I'm still looking everywhere I can. And I wonder if you can guide me through this challenging, like in how I can communicate, or so to guide, you know, or the thoughts I host, or anything that can help me come to resolution with this in the best possible way, you know, because it's also about the other person's willingness to look as well. Thank you.
Have they agreed to look at all?
I don't know if they've actually agreed to. I've asked.
All right. And have you looked in all of your pockets and all of the hidden places in the bathrooms and so on?
I'm still looking. If you're willing to offer me any hints, I would gladly take them. But I'm still doing my part is to keep looking and to keep seeing what I can remember. And I'm
to the extent
what?
that
I'm sorry?
have you lost to the extent that it will seriously harm you?
No, but it's a large enough amount to really get my attention.
All right. So, in a way, the best thing to do in any such a situation is release, again, your own insistence on the outcome and ask, what is the higher purpose for this happening? There is a pattern you are choosing to play out in which hasty, anxiety-filled actions cause chaos. And your choice to attempt to fix the situation with that same rushed energy only expands the quality of that chaos. So to fully release your resistance and your insistence is key. And use this and all situations of this nature as a lesson in what it means to release the belief systems that cause you anxiety, understanding again that anxiety is a distorted energy field that distorts everything you experience. And when you can have mastery over it to do things in more grounded, thorough, deliberate ways, none of this will continue to happen.
Yes, that is the lesson, but I would really like to find the money as well.
Though, again, you are still speaking from a place of insistence on that outcome. So what will serve you most is to, again, witness what happens when you release your insistence, come into a more balanced state, and see how your memory and your ability to relate changes when you have released greater degrees of insistence.
Okay. Thank you so much, Pleiadian Council.
Oh, yes, our great thanks to you as well.
Okay, Josh, one more question and then we're ending the call for today. Go ahead, Josh.
Thank you. Thanks again, great Pleiadian Council, for all these amazing advice. I'd have a question and a minor follow-up to that question, if you please.
Yes.
I've noticed that on this physical plane, on this physical track, there's a tendency to accumulate stuff, books, notes, sketchbooks, and various things like that, including bed sheets and various types of clothing. I would like to, from your grand advice, would there be a method to detach ourselves from these physical, let's say, things, because they do carry energy as well?
Yes. Well, we would say that the things do serve you to some extent, of course, otherwise you wouldn't have them. Though you must understand that all of the objects are permission slips that allow you to access certain frequencies. For example, crystals or notebooks or pictures from years ago can help you tap into memories and the quality of experience that gives you a sense of greater meaning. And when you understand that you're using that object as a means to access a frequency that already exists within you, your attachment to it can diminish. And you can then ask yourself, out of all of these things that are sitting around me, which of them do I truly need the most? For you can see through the example of those who may be hoarding, their attachment to the past prevents them from fully being in the present. And many individuals who choose to go through accelerated paths of ascension, coming more into spirit, will experience dramatic loss because their higher self knows that through loss, they will release their attachment to the past and realize that so much of their resourcefulness is within them.
Wow, thank you. I guess the minor follow-up question, while there's maybe 1 minute left, would be, how would the same process be when it comes from the human memory and human identity aspects of the things, you know, we keep attitude, we keep ideas, and we keep certain attachment. So what would be a variation of what you've said for that, for memories?
know that memories are building energy fields. The memories that you have grow with time. Every time you reconstruct these memories, you change certain details of it. You add little bits to it that you are not. For as you create new memories, the contrast from the new memories to the old memories also allows you to find different nuances to appreciate within memory. So you may, if you'd like, write out memories at different moments of time and document them in some way. They don't have to be on paper. They can be digital, stored somewhere where you trust that they will remain to look back upon at other moments. And as you see the different ways you tell the same story at one moment versus another moment, you will come to understand that even the idea of the past and memory itself is transforming. It is malleable and amorphous, and it will never be exactly as it was. And this practice then helps you to release more of this insistence on maintaining and possessing certain things from the past, because you also then come to see how the past itself is changing within you as you change.
Thank you. Great, thanks. Thank you.
Yes, yes. The challenge that many of you find is in really attempting to find something that is unchanging, but you live in a dimension of change. So the only thing that will not change is the fact of your existence. And the more you can appreciate the reality of your existence, the more you will be able to relax into all of the changes.
Great, thanks. Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
We do have the general consent to answer one or two more questions, only from those who have not asked something today. If you have a burning desire, allow it to burn quickly.
Angela, are you still here? I guess I could ask a question.
I am. Oh.
No, are you here? Go ahead and ask.
I am sorry. I couldn't. I was on mute.
No problem. But make it quick, okay?
Yes, I'll make it quick.
Okay.
Thank you, Pleiadians, for taking my question. I have had this kind of secret desire to create a podcast, and it's been with me for some time. However, I have difficulties hearing my own voice. So it's just been kind of on the back burner, but I'm involved in another project and was recently gifted a brand new MacBook computer that is is geared towards like an amazing microphone that talk about doing podcasts. And another woman I listen to who does podcasts just recently put out a program to teach people like all of her ideas and tricks about doing podcasts. And I just suddenly feel like things are aligning for this. So I guess my question is just, do you see this being a successful venture that I should go into despite my reservations?
It's aligned it for you in so many ways, has it not?
It seems to have suddenly, yes.
So when everything on your path points you in a certain direction, yes, follow it. We would say on behalf of the channel, your voice is quite pleasant, yes. And we would say that there are different ways that you can transform any degrees of insecurity. One is to simply record yourself speaking, perhaps reading a book or reading some quotes that you like very much. It doesn't even have to be your own words, but record yourself speaking it and listen back to it over and over. And in this way, the more you inundate yourself with the frequency you are resisting, the more that the resistance itself will diminish over time. We would also suggest you to, perhaps if you'd like, use some different vocal toning practices to explore the range of your voice with singing and sounds, as simply the act of moving your voice box, your throat chakra as well, together will allow you to experience freedom in your vocal expressions. And the last advice we would say is it will simply be uncomfortable. And that is the case for so many of you, that to embody your greatest, truest passions, to become the versions of yourself that you truly prefer to be, is uncomfortable for the present reality. And it is when you endure the discomfort and do what you know to be a higher excitement anyway, that the discomfort and the resistance itself will transform. So you don't have to be perfectly aligned to express your creativity in the moment. All of the resources for your creative expression to move through you are here in front of you and available. So allow yourself to work with it.
Great. I will do that. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thanks to you as well.
Well, if you'll take one more, I've got one kind of burning.
Yes, let it burn.
So I signed up for this Beyond TV boot camp, and now I signed up for Be Seen Accelerator, and it's putting me into the world of television and networks and just a whole bunch of mind systems of efforting and connecting, and it's been kind of crazy, and I'm asking myself, why the heck am I doing this to myself? And I know that I want to be more visible. I know that I want to bring whatever it is that I'm gifting this world, my larger community with, into the public eye. I know that I want to financially sustain myself so that I can live in more freedom. And so I know all those things, but the interface of my free spirit and just deep feminine soul with this super hyper masculinized system of structures and efforting and technology, the last few days I haven't been doing so well with with balancing myself. Kind of like Denise, it's like I was like, how do you do it in the way that creates the most stress and the most anxiety and the most agony? That's kind of what I've been experimenting with the last few days. And I think it boils down to just needing to trust. Like, I just need to trust that there is an action step to take in every moment that flows with ease, and I can use these tools, but they don't have to use me. But I just wondered if you could comment on why is this happening, and what am I doing? Yeah.
Diversifying your experience always helps you. You are called in this direction because aspects of it are exciting, and the aspects of it that aren't exciting will show you through contrast the way that you are eventually really meant to put yourself out into the world. You may find that much of the resistance to the structured aspects of this fades away as you get used to it, though we wouldn't suggest that when it is really causing you great degrees of anxiety that you force yourself to do it every time. You have to feel the current of excitement carry you through it, and sometimes taking a step back will be necessary. There are important lessons to gain from this experience, so don't discard all of it. It is one step in the grand journey that you are embarking upon.
Great. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks to you as well. Yes.
All right. Does the channel want to take one more question, or shall we say goodbye for today?
Depends what the question is.
It depends. Okay. Does anyone have a question?
Sure, I have a question, if you don't mind.
Yay, Heather. Yes.
Hi.
Hi,
I love
sweetie.
you guys.
Love you. Miss you. Let's Zoom.
Pleiadians, I've been doing a lot of work with Paul Selig, who's another channel, but really trying to integrate the monadic self and seeing that reflected back to me in the environment around me. And I'm noticing a lot more, like the sky will be blue, like only over where we are, or things like that. But I was just wondering, that one of the last teachings was taking source as your lover. Like, I don't understand if it was a Hierogamos type merging, or is it just accepting love from everything around you, kind of a feeling?
Yes. It is accepting that source embodies itself through every other person, every other seeming inanimate object, all forces of nature. Anything that you can experience is source, and it offers you love. So if you can feel the wind touching your skin as if it is the caress of a lover, the waves touching your toes and moving up against your body as if it is a gentle, loving pet like that of a lover, and come to experience everything in your life as that divine embrace, you more of the time will experience that love source is communicating with you. All of life is that dance of love with source. So when you resist the flow of life, you are resisting the love that source is expressing to you. So to fully embody this, understand that as much as you are merging your individual vessel to understand yourself as source, everyone else in reality is doing the same thing. And when you witness the other as source, you invite them to embody that same opportunity of coming to know themselves as source, and you expand the love within yourself and within the other.
Thank you.
Oh yes, our thanks to you as well. So with that, yes, we do thank each and every one of you. We thank you for choosing to connect in this way, for choosing to allow this expression of Source's love to integrate in your lives. It is an honor again for us. It allows us to expand into love as we greet you as Source, and hope that you come to embody Source in your own right, knowing that love is your nature, and that when love guides you, you will accelerate that process of coming to experience yourself as only love, as that is the truest essence of this reality. So, in that sense, we love you and we wish you a very pleasant rest of your day, and we look forward to our continued interactions in the sense through channeling and on astral levels whenever you wish to establish contact with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay.
I got
Mega
thrown
thank you.
off and I had to come back later. But I
That-
guess everybody got what they needed, hopefully.
I think so. I think we had a big group, and I think it was really fun for people.
Wonderful.
I think they were good
Some of
answers.
the topics were cool, weren't they? The ones that I got to hear. I'm going to go back and listen now.
Yeah. And it was in a sense streamlined, and it looks like everyone who was here got to ask at least one question. So
Oh, good.
great.
Okay, super. All right,
Yeah.
bye everyone. Nice to see everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The general announcements are I love
Oh, yeah.
you. And that the channeling course is enrolling again in January. If there's anyone who is interested in that, we can start conversations about that. Always I'm available for private sessions. And I don't know. Oh yeah, the donation link, if you'd like to donate for the session, it's in the chat boxes. those are the only announcements. On another update, I started writing a book. I've got like 6 chapters in, and I outlined.
Wow.
So I've kind of figured out my pacing and how to actually do it, and I'm pretty excited for that. So I just wanted to share that with everybody too. And I think that's everything. Life is good. I'm upset though that it's raining now. I guess that's Source loving me in some dimension.
Source is loving you. Let the rain pour down on you.
And sometime soon. Okay, I do have to go. There's other appointments awaiting me.
Okay. Heather, let's get in touch. I miss you so much. Yeah, let me know when you can Zoom.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
All right.
Yeah,
Josh.
Heather,
Josh. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye for now. Much love. Thank you.